Let's go. The Blue Hens have arrived in Harrisburg, Virginia for the annual showdown of the Pilgrim Bowl. The Pilgrim Bowl, our biggest main rival, our main ops, the Pilgrim Bowl. We knew this was definitely going to be a stadium post environment at James Madison, but if they're giving up a seam like this might not be much of a contest. We don't think they're going to catch them. They're not. House call for Kenna Heisman. Kenna Heisman gets an iconic moment in the Pilgrim Bowl. It was a whiteout in James Madison. They thought they were going to be able to do something this year, but Canada hushes the crowd. House call, probably an 80-yard house call to start off the game from the first play of scrimmage. Kenna Heisman to the crib. Nobody was going to be able to catch him. The cornerback thought he could be able to catch him, but once you get in a race with Kenna Heisman, nobody was able to catch him. House call to start it off for the Pilgrim Bowl. What a way to start off the Pilgrim Bowl for the Hens. Hey, we did not come to play this game. Last game, we almost got upset by Illinois. We knew we couldn't play with this game. We knew this was going to be a raucous environment. We knew the stadium post was going to be on a 10. So we definitely prepared our best for this game. Early in the season, a lot of upsets can happen. A lot of top teams definitely get upsetted, especially against our rivalries who definitely want to get back from last year. We throw the drag right here, trying to get a first down right here, bringing up an early third down. Y'all know what that means. Stadium post. The stadium post is back. Let's see what we trying to change the play at the line of scrimmage, but I don't think we're going to be able to. The stadium post is on the 10 right now. We just going to do the all goes. Ibrahim, y'all know he got a rocket of an arm. He just lets it fly and it's caught. Group is able to get his first touchdown of the year in the Pilgrim Bowl. The transfer comes out of nowhere to be able to catch that pass, and it was just a straight go route. But the corner couldn't catch up the group, and he's able to get his first touchdown of the year. Ibrahim threw him a dime, though. I told y'all, Ibrahim definitely had the most potential. He had more potential than Boyd. Boyd was really more of a system quarterback, but he was definitely a Delaware legend. Able to get our first championship with Boyd. He was definitely a Delaware legend, but with Ibrahim, he definitely has way more potential than Boyd had. Way better of a passer. And not to mention, he also way taller than Boyd is. He like 6'5", so we definitely going to be able to get a couple more passes off. But Canada just patiently just waiting until the offensive line gets him a seam. A lot of free grass right now with Pilgrim Bowl. James Madison going to have to step up the defense for the Pilgrim Bowl, or this might be a Pilgrim Bowl massacre. I throw a dime, and that's a dot. Ibrahim. Hey, the offense is clicking on all cylinders to start off the Pilgrim Bowl. After we got scared by Illinois, we couldn't change it. We almost got upset by Illinois at the crib to start off the year. We was able to beat Duke. I didn't show that game because it was a blowout. We blew out Duke. But then let's go ahead. Hold on. Look at the juke move. Kenna Heisman getting the first down, able to make something out of nothing. Hey, that's been the story. The Delaware Stars have just been able to make something out of nothing all first quarter. But Canada, he might have another one. Oh, he's making people miss. He get it disrespectful. Number 6. He might need to tie up his laces. Or he might need to put on some basketball shoes or something, because it might be basketball season for James Madison if they can't come back in this game. Canada is being very disrespectful this game. Somebody must have pissed them off. They must have been talking crazy before the game, and Canada had to make a statement. I'm looking in the pocket. I just throw it up. Can he come? Oh, he almost was able to make a play on it. Man was almost able to make a play. And, you know, Wiggins always injured. But it's nice to see that the James Madison fans still got the stadium post rocking. Hey, definitely some super loyal fans. They're keeping this rivalry game going, but we might have another house call. And that's how we going to end off the first quarter. Page, even the backup running back, is making plays out here. This has been the most one-sided Pilgrim Bowl we've ever seen. Usually the Pilgrim Bowl, it doesn't matter how bad James Madison is always, even the fans, they know that this game is always contested, but this has been an absolute runaway. Usually we look forward to the Pilgrim Bowl, but this is looking like a one-sided affair. Let's go ahead. Let's see if Canada can get another touchdown. He gets a couple of yards out of that. He only got 4 rushes for 100 yards. That house call is definitely part of that. Canada really trying to have him another MVP-like season, another Heisman season. Let's see if he could be the first person to try to get back-to-back Heismans in history. He throws it. He is always able to make a play out of nothing. Ibrahim, I told y'all, he has a lot of potential to really do something this year. We was definitely high on Ibrahim. We really didn't feel the need to even get a transfer portal quarterback. I just give it to Kennedy. He's able to get a couple of yards. Should we spare James Madison? I think we're just going to spare James Madison. Kick the field goal. The stadium post is rocking. I don't think we would have been able to get that, but I just missed the chip shot. It's only a 14-0 game now. It's not even 17. We could have really got 3 touchdowns, and now it's only 14-0. James Madison still has a chance in this game. We done finally gave James Madison something to do, but James Madison, they must have turned the ball over some. They get the ball right back. Their offense might not be good this year, and we got to capitalize on their mistakes. An easy rush for Kenna Heisman, gets a couple yards out of that, and he gets another first down for the Hens. And it's been a lot of first downs for the Hens this game. We do the RPO game, and this time they're there. This time they're not hearing none of that. About 4 or 5 defensive tackles swarm the line of scrimmage, and they're not going for that. We might have to put it in the air. We're looking in the pocket. Hold on. Square might be open. I'm just waiting. Just throw it down to R1, and it's picked off. 2 times that Delaware hasn't been able to do nothing in the red zone. Can we get a tackle? We do. But absolutely ridiculous. This game could have been 28-0. It's still 14-0. James Madison still trying to make sure the Pilgrim Bowl isn't a blowout. They still trying to make this a close game. James Madison with 2 turnovers in the red zone. But really, that's freshman mistakes by Ibrahim. He tried to make something out of nothing. I'm just sitting in the pocket. I got impatient. I didn't want to throw the ball away, and we had to pay for it twice. Hey, two turnovers in the red zone. James Madison can't do nothing with the football either. But let's go. We got 2 minutes to make something happen. Probably finally get the ball to Kenna Heisman. Really get him some more rushes. He's done had a Heisman-like day today. Let's see if he can capitalize on it. Ibrahim just throws it down. But really, this receiving trio that we got for Delaware, I can say that it really might be better than last year's group. Maine and because Maine is really a taller receiver than what's his name, Thomas. Oh, but hold on, Kenna Heisman. I hate to cut myself off, but Kenna Heisman's gonna take this to the crib. Another house call. He just puts his hands in the air because he knows it's another house call. James Madison fans are salty right now. I ain't gonna lie, this is the most lopsided we done ever seen the Pilgrim Bowl. But Kennedy is turning this Pilgrim Bowl into a talent show. Talents on full display, looking like a Heisman performance in the Pilgrim Bowl for Kenna Heisman. Hey, this is the second year that he's dominated the Pilgrim Bowl. James Madison would always remember Kenna Heisman. Definitely, they will always remember. Even when James Madison gets good, we could always bring up on how Kenna Heisman used to always put on a crazy performance. We can always look back at this game. Hey, this is definitely what makes legends. If you want to be a legend in Delaware, you got to do what Kennedy is doing. You got to put on in the Pilgrim Bowl. Really, if I should have just kept going straight, that might have been another house call. But 194 yards with only 9 rushes in the first half. Those are the type of stats that he's having in the first half. He's on his way to getting 400 yards. He's on the pace to get 400 yards right now. I try to throw the check down. I end up getting the quarterback smoke because of that, but let's go ahead. We got 15 seconds to try to make something happen. 15 seconds to end the half off. There's been a dominant performance in the Pilgrim Bowl. I just throw the check down. Let's see if we could even try to get that field goal that we missed back. Let's see if we could try to get a field goal out of this possession. But yeah, I didn't think James Madison was not going to show up like this. Usually James Madison has the voodoo magic, and usually at the crib too. That's definitely not how I expected this game to go, but I'm just going to slide, get a couple yards. We got 2 more timeouts. I'm going to use one of them. Might be able to get a field goal out of this 54-yarder. Hold on. Does the kicker got it? Hey, we definitely got to try out, even if he misses this, we definitely got to see how good these kickers is this year. He might be able to hit that. Hey, this might be the best field goal kicker we'd have ever had. I don't think I've ever made a 54-yard field goal with a Delaware kicker before. Hey, the special teams unit is definitely upgraded, because I don't think I've ever been able to kick a field goal like that. We give it a Page. We don't put Page in the game. Page is getting some reps. He's the transfer portal running back that I was able to get in the portal. Y'all know I've been getting a lot of talent in the portal. I already said I was like Lane Kiffin in the portal. I get a couple. He gonna get more than a couple yards. He gonna get enough for a first down. Even Ibrahim getting some rushing yards. Ibrahim, a dominant performance from Ibrahim, a freshman red shirt. He was a little bit inexperienced. I didn't know how he was gonna be able to handle this rivalry game, but he's putting on. You want to be a Delaware legend, you got to put on in this game in the Pilgrim Bowl. Know what I'm saying? I told y'all this is the best rivalry in the sport. This is better than Michigan, Ohio State. This is better than any rivalry you can think of. But right now, Canada is putting on in the best rivalry of all time. Canada is looking like the best college football player of all time. 3 touchdowns, a hat trick for Canada Heisman. In the third quarter, he already has a hat trick. Probably more than 200 yards already. Just rushing yards too. Canada, nobody was there. Once he broke out of that tackle, nobody could catch him. Hey, no chance. Absolute no chance for James Madison secondary to catch him. Another crib call, hat trick. And Delaware can really start to relax. We might just go ahead and put the backups in. There's really no need to play the starters no more. This is becoming a Pilgrim Bowl massacre. And James Madison keep turning the ball over. We just going to get free yards. And that's another red zone. Another red zone opportunity for the Delaware Blue Hens. Moving the ball with ease. This has been too easy in this rivalry game. Last year was a little bit of more of the same, but it wasn't as bad as this. This is definitely a blowout, and at the crib, too. James Madison is not going to forget about this. This is almost like a villain story right now. We do the play action, and he gets popped. Let's go. I just didn't want to be too predictable. I didn't want to just do the run. I tried to catch him off guard with the play action power, and they weren't going for that. But, yeah, James Madison, this is almost the start of a villain story for y'all. Canada gets another one. 4th touchdown for the day for Canada Heisman. And this might propel him to having a Heisman case this year. 4 touchdowns in one game. Probably almost 300 yards now. This is an absolute showcase. A showcase. Hey, he might be able to go to the NFL after this game. Really, he might not even have to play no more years of college. I hope our roster could be able to get retained, but I don't think that he's going to stay another year if he's having showcases like this. 4 touchdowns. It's only the third quarter in a rivalry game that everybody's talking about. Y'all know these are our biggest ops, James Madison. Y'all know Michigan has Ohio State. We got James Madison. James Madison is our biggest ops. So for him to do this in this game, it just means even more. Hey, he's the first ever Heisman for Delaware. Also part of the first ever national championship team for Delaware. And it's like every time he play another game, he's making history. He's making history right now, too. He's making history right now, too. 5 touchdowns for Canada Heisman. Another touchdown. And the James Madison fans might as well start leaving early. Them Hens that brought their rivalry belts out to Harrisburg, Virginia. They done brought their rivalry belts out to James Madison. This is legendary belt right now. What a performance by Canada Heisman. He has to be the number 1 in the Heisman rankings after this. He's trying to get a second Heisman, and I really think he could do it if he keeps up performances like that. Look at the moves. 5 touchdowns, and these are all house calls, too. These aren't even like just give me touchdowns. Hey, some of these touchdowns, he's taking it like 90-plus yards. It's been like three straight house calls. Been his touchdowns, but man, what a performance by Canada Heisman. This is crazy. Delaware Blue Hens that brought a rivalry belt out to Harrisburg, Virginia. Hey, the fans are faithful because they still out there in attendance. Hey, y'all gotta salute the James Madison fans. Hey, definitely a good fan base. Y'all know that they damn near the birthplace of Indiana football. So shout out, and really they might be the birthplace of UCLA football because they've also been putting in their work. Shout out to Chesney. But look at Maine. Another first down for the Hens. Offense is soaring right now. That's why they call us the Hens. And really, I'm starting to see the potential of having man on slot. Y'all know that's the transfer portal receiver. Y'all know we had Thomas in slot. I really don't know where he ended up transferring to. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't know where he ended up, but man, he might have another catch. What a dime. What a dime by Ibrahim. In between the safety, in between the cornerback. Those are absolute breadbasket pass, and we have the ball at the 1-yard line. We might be able to punch it in right here and get a candidate a free gimme touchdown, but James Madison had enough. They done had enough of this historic day for Canada. Y'all know they going to send the blitz as much as they can. They really low-key hate it because right now we chasing records. But it just had to be against James Madison, and that's another Pilgrim Bowl record. He's breaking records and he's making history. 6 touchdowns in the Pilgrim Bowl, most by player ever. The most by player from Delaware or James Madison. Never seen somebody put 6 touchdowns in Pilgrim Bowl history. And y'all know this is a long-standing rivalry, the Pilgrim Bowl. That's why it's called the Pilgrim Bowl. James Madison, I'm pretty sure that's the first president. Delaware, that's the first state. If y'all want to know, get some context behind why we call it the Pilgrim Bowl. That's really, I just put 2 and 2 together, so I just called it the Pilgrim Bowl. Now, that's a nice enough nickname for this rivalry. But, we just taking our time now. 51-3 in the Pilgrim Bowl. I'm going to call this episode Pilgrim Bowl Massacre. Y'all know I've been trying to be more consistent with my episodes. I done dropped all that Mafia content so I could get that out the way so we can go ahead and drop all this Delaware Blue Hens content. I got a lot of Delaware Blue Hens content that we got to drop. I got to finish off this rebuild. Y'all know we're not just stopping with one championship game. We got to show y'all all the candidates' career. We got to show y'all our pursuit on winning 6 championships. So we got a lot of goals we got to hit. So I got to drop all that content. And y'all know I also got to drop that college football 2026 tour too. Got to see what games I'm going to go to for that. But that's all the way in a couple months. We'll wait on that when we have to wait on that. Let's go ahead and get up out of here with a victory. A rivalry belt in the Pilgrim Bowl in the biggest game. Y'all know this team might be destined for another national championship trip. Because any team that's able to win the Pilgrim Bowl in dominant fashion like this is definitely on the radar for a national championship contender. But yeah, I think James Madison is going to do better in a couple of years. They're in the Big Ten right now. I moved them to the Big Ten so they can get more recruits. But y'all know it's going to be a talent disparity. But Kennedy is wide open with the check down. Let's see what he can do. He's making people miss. He's been making people miss all game, and he picks up another first down, just making something out of nothing. Ibrahim as well. We got to be proud of the offense. Last game, they didn't show up whatsoever. But Kennedy, does he want another? Does he want to be greedy? 7 touchdowns for Kennedy Heisman. More records obtaining in this game. James Madison fans might want to turn this game off. This is becoming a clinic, a rushing game clinic. And we got to see the stats after this game. James Madison fans can't believe it. A Pilgrim Bowl Massacre. That's going to be the title of this episode. Kennedy, 7 touchdowns. An absolute record breaker. We knew when we put him in that game against Miami when he said he was going to transfer if he don't get playing time. We was like, who is this kid? Why you coming to my front office with this? Know what I'm saying? Who do you think you are? Saying you deserve playing time. We put him in the game. He showed his talents off just to start off, and that was just a sneak peek of the powers for Kennedy. Because this game, 7 touchdowns, I don't think a running back has ever did that. This is like some Adrian Peterson records in the Pilgrim Bowl being set right now. But that's crazy. You know what would have been crazy if we actually let Kennedy go and didn't give him no playing time. And we never saw none of this because that was definitely a possibility. At first, I'm like, man, you might not be good enough to play. But then I saw how better he was than Handy. I'm like, we definitely got to let him play. I should have tried to make a move or something, but that's about it. That's going to wrap it up. We don't need to score any more points on James Madison. I think they get it. I think they understand this. This is definitely a historic belt being given. I think James Madison in the future is going to have a chance to show out, but today is just not their day. Sometimes you on the wrong side of history, and that just happened to be the day. Page get a couple more yards, and that's how we going to finish it off, showing off the run game. And really, we got 2 capable running backs because I think Page is better than how Handy was. I think Page is better than the backup we had last year. He ended up transferring too, but Pilgrim Bowl championship stays at Delaware, where it's always stayed at. In all of my years of coaching Delaware, 325 rushing yards for Kennedy Heisman, 7 touchdowns. He did that with only like 16 rushing attempts. And that's not even counting the receiving yards too. Absolutely Heisman-like performance in the biggest game in the Pilgrim Bowl. Y'all know this is the best game that we play on our schedule. Hey, we just so happen to make it a snooze fest on the absolute clinic that we showed. But y'all know we still got to get ready for another crazy environment. They play at Death Valley. That's the next game on the schedule. But I'm out. Let's go.